This episode is brought to you by Stouffer's. Here comes three-time juggling champion Natalia Rogers. She's juggling law school, her TA job. Oh, narrowly catches the laundry. What's that fourth ball? Parents unexpectedly showed up at dinner time? Is that too much for Natalia? Not with Stouffer's Chicken Alfredo and its mouth-watering mix of Asiago, Romano, and Parmesan. When you're juggling 4 things at once and the clock strikes dinner, think Stouffer's.
My oldest daughter is 16. She's still very angry. She decided she wanted to live with my sister. We don't talk at all, me and my daughter.
This is the plaintiff, Brittany Gunts. She says the defendant, the former girlfriend of her brother-in-law, fell on hard times and moved in with her. The defendant, however, didn't live up to her fiduciary responsibilities of running the household and never paid one of the bills she was responsible for. Now, she's on the hook for $1,300 in electric bills and is suing the deadbeat here and now. This is the defendant, Heather DeLauro. She says the plaintiff was supposed to be paying the electric bill as per the agreement they had when she moved in. She was shocked when she came home one day and was met with a large yellow sticker on the door from the electric company saying there was a huge balance on the account. Bottom line, she lived up to her responsibilities, and so should the plaintiff. She's accused of not paying for the juice.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Brittany Gunts, you are suing Heather DeLauro for $1,300 in electric bill balance that you say she left you with when she moved out.
Yes.
Okay, how do you two know each other?
She was in a relationship with my brother-in-law for a short time, and I met her in the beginning of summer 2012. She would come to the house, and, you know, it was summertime, we would have a good time, whatever. Her and I got into conversation and got to know her, and at one point she was having difficulty with her living situation, and I felt bad, and I wanted to give her a chance to try and get a step ahead and get her life back together. So I let her stay with us. And
Who's us?
Me, my boyfriend, and my 2 children. And at that point, we lived in a different home at that point. Labor Day weekend.
What was the agreement?
At that point in time, because it was only a 2-bedroom home, she stayed in the room with my 2 kids, and I really didn't charge her any rent. She just would put money in towards necessities, food in the house, stuff like that. But at that point, I did not charge her any rent, per se.
Were you friends?
We were.
Okay.
At the time, yeah.
And so you lived that way for how long?
From June to September 5th.
Okay. And then what happened? You found a new place?
September 5th, we had the bigger place. My son was having his own room. My daughter was having her own room. The agreement was that she would share a room with my daughter, which was the bigger of the 2.
And your daughter's how old?
4.
Okay.
At that point, because the rent increased by about $400.
You asked her for rent money.
Asked her
and
for
the
rent
rent money
money
that she was going to be paying you was $250 a month.
$250 a month.
And anything else?
She also has money that she gets from the state for food. She also would.
Does she have kids?
She
Do you
has
have kids?
3.
I do.
How old?
10 and, well, I have a 16-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 12-year-old. I was in the process of getting custody back of my children.
How did you lose custody?
I'm a drug addict. I've been clean for 2 years now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I had to prove to the courts and to my sister that I was able to take care of my children before I could get them back.
Who took your children while you were going
My
through?
sister had them.
Okay.
My oldest daughter is 16. She's still very angry. She decided she wanted to live with my sister. We don't talk at all, me and my daughter. My 10 and 12-year-old, I would have come visit me. When I got custody of them, it was Brittany and I discussed that, you know, when I got custody of them, I would be getting my own place.
It's kind of, you know, here's the thing though, you probably don't know or don't realize, but when you are paying rent to somebody and you don't have a lease, then you are by operation of law something called a month-to-month tenancy. So really the kind of notice that you're supposed to give somebody is going to depend on what state you're in, but in your fine state, it's going to be 30 days notice that you're supposed to give them. But in any event, we're not here about the notice, we're here about the electric bill. So that's why she was angry. You gave her a week's notice and
I
told
gave her a week's notice because I was looking for an apartment and the people told me I could move in January 1st. That's when I could move in, was January 1st.
Tell me about the electric bill.
The electric bill, I came in one day from work and found a yellow envelope from Atlantic City Electric in the mail in the amount of $1,075.48.
Who was supposed to be paying the electric bill?
She was.
Who was supposed to be paying the electric bill?
She was, because
How many months did we go with no electric bill being paid?
From September till
Who was
end of
paying the
December.
electric bill in the last house?
I was.
Why was the electric bill, did you pay or did you leave a balance?
I had a balance from a previous residence, but because of the fact that we moved into a larger home, and that was part of the stipulations, was the $250 rent, and because of the fact that I needed also some help with being the fact that I had a delinquent balance, she would put the electric in her name, and that was also a part of the stipulation.
Right,
she would
but
pay
you
for
left
it.
how big a delinquent balance with the electric company?
It was $475.
And that was not in the home you were in with her, not in the first place you were at with her, but a prior place to that?
Yes.
So whose name was the electric under in the penultimate place, the place where she moved in with you?
My boyfriend.
And was your boyfriend in the new house with you?
Yes.
Did he leave a balance as well in the last place?
Yes, which was paid. Both mine and his have been paid.
When?
As soon as she shut the electric off without giving me any notice.
Because you ran out of people to put the electric name on. Can't put it under your daughter's name. She's 4.
Well, the reason why she put the electric in her name was because that was part of the agreement, was she was going to pay that towards living with us as well. Because $250 in rent and $200 in food stamps.
Well, and that's fine, and I understand that, but you're the same person who had her living there for 6 months with no rent. So it's like I can't look at it and say, well, don't be ridiculous. Where could you find a place for $250? Of course you were supposed to pay the electric when her gig for 4 or 5 months was she pays nothing, which was very nice of you. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like I'm kind of stunned it got this far, because when you needed somebody to turn to, apparently that was the one place you were able to turn to. Why? Was she that good a friend of yours?
When I moved in with her, like she said, I was dating her brother-in-law. But it was 4 people against me.
No, I understand. Well, not against. 4 people who were giving
living
you a place
there
to live.
Against,
but yes,
I mean,
they're 4 and you're 1. I understand.
More electric, so I'm not going to pay a whole electric bill for 4 other people and just myself. I was trying to get an apartment so I could have my children back. She knew that. That's why I was only paying.
So, were there any texting back and forth? Was there any texting?
There wasn't a text.
Can I see the phones? Let me see the phone.
Well, the verbal agreement too was that this was only temporary. This was only supposed to be until I was able to get my income tax and pay off my delinquent balance, which I did. It's just it was temporary, and because she was.
Yes, I understand. And then what would happen?
I'm sorry?
Then you would switch the electric back to you.
Yes.
And then you'd be paying.
Well, I paid for the whole time.
Right, exactly. So, which is her point, that you are the person responsible for the electric bill for the 4 people in your house, that she was like kind of freeloading on the side, sleeping in your daughter's bedroom, and that the $250 was enough to cover that. And if you're telling me that this was just temporary because I was taking over the thing again, then that starts to sound like maybe it's not part of the deal that she's supposed to pay electric. I didn't blank anyone. I need electric too. Yes, you did. This affects me majorly, and you couldn't have the respect to give me a heads up. It's all good. You tell her, I just found out I'm blanked paying this electric bill. Sounds like you're saying you're going to pay it. Now, January 4th, she's already out, right?
Yes.
You text her you need to call the electric company for your bill so I can transfer mine, or she texts you that?
I text her that.
And she says, I did call the electric company. And then you say, well, they're saying I can't get service in my name till you pay yours off. And she answers, it's going to take a while. It's a little high. So you were acknowledging that you were going to pay it?
I had to pay it because it goes against my credit. So yes, I have to pay it off regardless.
You know what I think? I don't think either of you are much of a planner.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So who here has been in had a problem with a roommate? What's the problem?
Problem, not paying rent and being clean.
How'd you solve it?
Talked to the manager, I was in the veterans program, so they moved him out, end of story.
But a lot of times you don't have like a veterans manager. How do you solve it when you don't have a manager to solve your problem?
You ask him to move across the hall.
Why are you holding her hand when you say that? I have a feeling that would be really awkward. I'm just guessing. Going inside the courtroom.
I think you're so used to nailing the electric company that you just figured out all we got to do is get a name on there, and nobody's thinking through who's going to pay it.
Your Honor, I never had
It's going to take a while. It's a little high. Why would you agree to pay it if you weren't supposed to pay it?
Because I have to pay it.
Yeah,
It's
but
in
why
my
would you
name.
tell her, oh, you just need to give me time, it's going to take a little while, if that wasn't your agreement with her to pay it? You'd be saying, I can't believe you stiffed me with this bill. That's what you'd be saying. Who ended up paying the bill? You did.
I took the balance from her account to mine. Now
So
I'm
you
held
switched it over to
responsible.
your name.
Mhm.
And by that point, you had already paid your prior balance.
Yes.
Okay, did he pay his balance?
Yes, he did.
Okay, so, oh my God, you guys got so trashy. I don't think I can even continue to read this.
Your Honor, I thought the electric bill being paid was fair in relation to only paying $250 a month rent. That's why
I don't care what's fair. That's what you don't understand. I care what's fair in court is for me to enforce a contract. It's not my job to decide to rewrite your lives. It's my job to decide what the contract was. So one way that I could try to discern what the contract is to imagine what sane people would do as an agreement. But that doesn't always work with my litigants, because my litigants aren't always sane. So when you tell me, well, who would in their right mind would take only $250 rent? Maybe the same person who would take zero rent for 5 or 6 months. You were clearly trying to help her. So I can't just look at how little she paid in rent and decide that. But I can look at these texts. And in these texts, it's just this like, oh, well, I guess it's in my name, so I guess I have to pay it. One of two things happened. Either she was always supposed to pay it, which isn't the flavor I get from the text. Because the flavor is, well, but why is that fair? Because you have that, and there's not, you know you were supposed to pay it. It's like this weird, it's like almost, all anybody cares about is just getting the electric turned on. And que sera later, when the electric company finally comes a-calling. It's bizarre.
I've been paying the electric bill at my new house.
Well, good
because
for you.
No, that's what I was supposed to do. When I lived with her, I was barely home. I worked all day. I came home. I paid the $250 a month rent. I paid for food in the house. I cleaned the house, and I paid for necessities. And I even paid her.
Why do you say in a text, it's going to take me a while to pay it?
Because I have to pay that off to get it turned on in my name because my sister doesn't want it on in her name forever. So eventually, I have to pay my electric bill off in order to
You
get
understand
it turned
that
on.
electric bill is paid off now, right?
I did not know that.
Okay, let me see your zero balance. That's what I need to see. Because that's what you're testifying under oath, right? That you paid that electric bill.
No, it was transferred from her.
Yes, I understand, and then you paid that balance.
No, they don't. They're doing a payment plan for me because I can't pay the full balance. So in order for me to get the service, I had to take a payment plan.
They can't go after her. Can they still go after her?
No, because I took over
You
that
took
balance
over
to get
it.
service for
Right.
my kids, yes.
I can see the bill is for $1,300, and based on what I've heard, I'm going to rule in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of the $1,300. You no longer have that balance in your name. Do you understand that?
I do now, yes.
Okay. All right. That's my judgment. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff has won this case here in the People's Court, and this is the defendant right here stepping out on the losing end of the decision, thinking what?
I'm just glad it's done and I don't have an outstanding electric
Hanging
bill.
over your head any longer.
That's it. I'm
Well,
just happy with that.
Aren't you indebted to her for stepping up when you needed it?
Indebted to her? No, I paid my way when I was with her.
Right, but she stepped up, gave you a place to stay.
She
And
did.
all that. Is there a
She
debt
did.
there, or some gratitude there on your part?
I am grateful she gave me a place to live, but I also did pay my way while living with her.
And how's everything going now?
It's going great. I have my children. I'm in my own place. I'm fine.
All right, good luck.
Thank
Good
you.
luck. All right, right down there. Jose, come on in here. You had to go to court to get this money. Do you think she appreciates what you tried to do for her?
In the beginning, I think, but towards the end, I think when she got custody of her kids, she started to become very selfish and thought of only herself and no longer my kids.
Mm-hmm. Well, why did you reach out to her then at the very beginning? What was she like then?
Because I saw a mother that needed help getting her kids, and I'm a mother too, and I have sympathy
Would
for
you do
that.
it again?
No, I'll never do it again.
Harvey?
Okay, I have a really strong opinion about this. When you move in with somebody, I think it's a good idea to always nail down in writing what the obligations are, who pays for what. If you don't do that, I'm telling you, I have seen this, you are asking for trouble, even if you get along going in. It is the right thing to do. That'll do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
TaxAct knows every small business owner has different tax filing needs. With TaxAct, you can file yourself with the help of an expert, or TaxAct can do it all for you. You're the boss, the head honcho, the top banana. And TaxAct is like your loyal, trusty tax aide, ready to pounce on any tax needs you might have. TaxAct is dying to pounce on some small business tax needs. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
This is the plaintiff, Sheila Foley Hanna. She says she and the defendant dated for a while, even though her friend warned her about him. Boy, does she wish she listened, because the guy owes her money for loans she made to him. You'd think someone could trust a full-time cop when he said he'd pay her back. But hey, you live, you learn, you move on. She's suing him for $3,500, the amount she gave him. This is the defendant, Daniel Maurice Collins, Jr. He says the plaintiff was his girlfriend and she gave him money here and there, and he would do the same. That's right, it was a back-and-forth thing, not one-sided like the plaintiff's trying to portray. The plaintiff simply PO'd because they broke up, and she's trying to exact some revenge on him by filing this lawsuit. He's accused of taking, but not giving.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. These litigants dated. She loaned him money, and guess what? He stiffed her. But he says that they both did things for each other, so they're even. It's the case of, I want my jack slack.
Thank you, Douglas. Sheila Foley Hanna, you are suing Daniel Maurice Collins, Jr., your former boyfriend?
Yes.
For $3,500 in a loan that you made to him, or loans that you made to him that he has not repaid. What happened?
Through the course of when we were dating, from like October 2011 to July 2012, I gave him small increments of money that he needed for various bills. He didn't specify what bills.
Why?
He asked for the money and I trusted him.
Why?
Because he was friends with my friends, and so I thought he had a good heart.
$3,500 worth of good heart? I mean, that's not $35 or $350. That's $3,500.
He always said he'd pay me back, and there was times where
So he always said he'd pay you back. Okay, so how many different times were you fronting money to him?
I have a whole stack of receipts. That's a lot. But he also said...
What do you mean receipts, though?
I sent through MoneyGram in Western Union.
I'm sorry, where was he and where were you?
I was at school in Albany, and he was in Rochester.
Which is how far away?
3.5 hours.
So you would actually wire him money?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
There was separate occasions, like over the course of a year and a half, where she did actually give me money. But
well, according to her, she has receipts. Hand my bailiff your receipts, please. She has receipts for wiring you $3,500 worth of money.
Well, she didn't wire me $3,500 worth of money.
Are you kidding me? She didn't wire you $3,500 worth. What is this, Walmart receipts? What are you handing me?
They were from Walmart, because that's where I did the MoneyGram.
All right.
And
she didn't wire you $3,500 worth of?
No, most of the time it was like, if she gave me money, it was like in person, and like those were like small like increments, like $40, I believe, and 100.
Why do you need her, your girlfriend, to wire you $40, $30?
I don't know, because I was hungry. I wanted McDonald's.
Because you were hungry. What do you do for a living?
I'm a student and a security guard.
Why? How does this start? That you start sending these tiny increments of money that end up, according to you, amounting to $3,500?
There are also receipts in there that are like for $500 and stuff like that.
Why are you doing this?
Because I trusted him, and there's various times where he said...
No, I'm asking you why you're doing something. And your answer to me is because I trusted him, because there's something wrong with him. He's not trustworthy. No, my question is, why are you this stupid? We have a name for people like you. We call them plaintiffs. What's going on?
Yeah, so she did actually give me, tons of money, and I honestly am not sure if it was if it was $3,500 that she gave me altogether, because there was numerous times where I gave her money as well.
What'd you give her money for?
Gas money. There was numerous.
Were there ever times when he put money your way?
He gave me about $50 when he said he was going to start to pay me back, and that was it.
Oh, no, there was...
So when would you see each other if you lived 3 hours away?
Whenever I came home.
And when you came home, how often would you see him?
Not very often.
So what were you trying to do, buy his love?
I was dumb.
No, what were you trying to do, buy his love?
There was times where he said that he wouldn't let me see another penny of what I gave him unless I gave him more money.
That's not true.
Someone said that to you and you gave them more money?
I wanted the rest of it, so that's what I thought my only option was.
How old are you?
21.
You can't be this stupid. That can't be true.
So, how long should you date somebody before you loan them money?
Never.
Okay, huh?
2 weeks.
Why is everybody grabbing you? Did this happen?
Yeah.
What happened?
Definitely. I met this guy, and he was a con artist, and he needed $5,000 to pay some taxes. So I said, oh, yeah, I'll pay you the money. So
How long into the dating did you?
I said 2 weeks, hard.
Oh, God. Going inside the courtroom.
Here's what your complaint says. In October 2011, the defendant wanted to break up with me, but said that if I proved myself to him by giving him money, we could stay together. So I gave him a couple $100. He never gave it back. That's just as soon as you started dating. Did that happen?
Yeah.
Really? What kind of damaged goods are you what happened to you in your life that you would think that was okay?
A lot of things. It was shortly after my brother died, so I'm
sorry to hear that.
More.
I've had 2 brothers die, and I cannot imagine that after either of my brothers died, that somebody would say to me, prove yourself to me by sending me money, and I would do anything but throttle their neck. What is your defense? What was all this money?
Well, when I met Sheila, first of all, her brother died 2 years prior to that. So me saying that directly after her brother died is invalid. And me making a comment...
Did you say that to her? Prove yourself to me by sending me money?
No, I never said that to her.
Well, wait, she just was saying me saying that to her after her brother died is invalid. So when did you say that to her? That presumes that you said that to her.
Well, what I'm trying to say is I never said that to her, A, and B, her brother died 2 years prior to me meeting her.
What did you say to her that caused her to send you money?
I asked her for money for various reasons, and she...
So why shouldn't you have to pay it back?
Because there's never a logical law agreement where I had to pay it back.
So they're what? Gifts?
Well, technically, all this started... She started asking for money back after she got pissed off after we broke up, really.
Why did you guys break up?
I don't know, it just didn't work.
According to you, she cheated on you?
Oh, yeah, Alan. Yeah, my best friend.
Oh, yeah, that. Okay, according to you, she cheated on you with your best friend?
Yeah.
Is that true or not true? Because it didn't pop into your head right now, so I'm getting the feeling that maybe you just threw that out.
I honestly don't know the full details of it. He told me it happened, she kind of agreed, and I just dropped it.
You confronted her?
Yeah, I confronted her about it.
Who broke up with who?
Ooh, it's happened so many times, I don't remember who broke up with who the last time. This wasn't like a relationship.
Did you like her?
Yeah, I loved her.
Did he break up with you or did you break up with him?
I think it was mainly mutual, mostly him.
Did you see the face you put on? Do you realize the face you put on when he walked into the courtroom? Are you smitten still?
No.
You have some texts you want me to see. Were you working?
Yeah, I had 2 jobs.
And going to school?
Yes.
What are you studying?
Physics.
You're a physics major, and you want me to believe that you're just this dumb, naive, sweet little thing that got totally taken advantage of, and as opposed to a girl who was trying to buy herself a nice hunk of man who now regrets that she was doing that?
I mean, I have texts that say he was going to pay me back, so I don't think it was me trying to buy him.
First of all, your receipts here don't total anywhere near $3,500.
Because I gave him a lot in cash.
Okay. So your receipts here total like half of that, okay? So let's start with that. Then let me see those texts. Have you got them going? Thanks. Okay. The first part of the stuff I'm reading clearly shows that he cared about you because he's really upset about you and Alan. I'm not going to read this message out loud. It's clearly you bearing your soul to him, telling him that you want him back. And then you say, I want to not cry all the time. I want to be happy, so please give me that money. And you answer, I will. She says, when? My doctor's appointment is at 2. It won't be till Thursday. I will have parts of the money for you. I will meet you when I have parts. What money were you planning on paying her back when you were texting all this?
The cash that she gave me.
So why, if you don't owe her this because they're all gifts, then why are you texting her that you're going to get it together and give her back her money?
Because I felt bad.
You don't feel bad. You were mad at her at this point because she was making out with your best friend, you thought.
But that has nothing to do with,
That has nothing to do with how bad you feel for her?
Yeah.
You would think it would have everything to do with how bad you feel for her.
No, not really.
My dad's lawyer will mail you a check. Send me an address. Why would your dad's lawyer mail her a check?
I just was saying stuff to her to get her to leave me alone.
Well, when you continuously say that you're going to get her money together, how do you figure she's going to leave you alone?
I don't know. It just worked at the time.
Okay. You can't just pick a figure out of the sky. You have to have proof of your figure.
I said $3,500 in the text, and you said I will. So I thought
I don't care. You could say $1 million. If he says he will, it doesn't mean he owes you $1 million. You're lucky you get a penny. As far as I'm concerned, you were buying something and you got your money's worth. You were buying it, okay? The only thing you have going for you are these texts where you keep saying over and over again, I'll get your money together. So clearly, you know, she could be buying the loans, not buying your good graces through some loans as opposed to buying your good graces through some gifts. She ain't gonna get anywhere near as much as she's asking for. But there's clearly something that you're gonna owe her, because what could possibly be the reason for you to spend, how long, a year? Saying, how many months did he spend saying, I'll pay you, I'll pay you, I'll pay you?
A year and a half.
Are you, seriously? It's like the one reason that you have to have contact with him. You know exactly what you're buying when you buy it. This is not a big surprise to you. I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of the $2,000 that she has receipts for.
And so $2,000 for the plaintiff. There's the defendant coming out here. What's going through your mind as you leave this courtroom?
I feel a little bad for her. She's upset. I love her as a person still, so I'm gonna make sure that she's all right in the end.
You don't think you took advantage of her financially, or at least that's how it looks in there?
Honestly, like with an ex-girlfriend, when they're upset, they're always gonna, try to make you embarrassing and look bad. But I honestly don't think it was that much money to begin with. So,
all right, right around the corner this way. Let's see what the plaintiff has to say about the award first of $2,000 of what you sued for, $3,500.
It's kind of frustrating because I know for a fact I gave him $3,500, but it's something, and I hope to.
You still have feelings for him?
No, I am going to block his number as soon as I leave.
Really? He just came out here and said he was going to reach out to you and try to keep the relationship going.
I'm dating someone else, so no.
For now?
We're good.
Okay. Over to Harvey.
I mean, here's the deal. If somebody is using you as a cash register when you're dating them, it will not work out. You got that? You got that? Yeah. Going inside the courtroom.
Raise the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. Start converting your B2B audience today. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started today at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
These are the plaintiffs, Oscar and Alyssa Arroyave. They say their car broke down on the road a few blocks from the defendant's shop, so they got out and pushed the thing to his garage to get it fixed. An hour later, the guy told them he fixed it by changing the spark plugs, but it still wasn't running. Then he said they needed a sensor, which he didn't have, so they got a friend to bring one over. The defendant installed it, but the car still wouldn't start. The defendant then blocked their car in with a truck and told them they owed him money for the work he did. He didn't fix anything. They were forced to pay, and they're suing him for the $296.59 the defendant extorted out of them. This is the defendant, Stephen. He says he stayed open an extra 90 minutes trying to help the stranded plaintiffs with their broken-down car. And this is what he gets? A lawsuit? He did everything in his power to help the plaintiffs, is owed for the work he did, and deserves to be paid in full. He's accused of not fixing it right. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $535.02, the balance owed on the repair.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiffs went to the defendant's repair shop. They say they got fleeced, but the defendant says that the car was a clunker and he went out of his way to help. It's the case of you put junk in our clunk.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, man.
Oscar and Alyssa Arroyave, you are suing. You've asked us not to mention the company name. You've asked us not to mention your last name. You're just going to go by Stephen.
Yes.
Okay, you're the owner?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You're suing Stephen's business for $296.59, the amount that he charged you to repair your car that happened to break down right in front of him, but according to you, did not fix your car. You are counterclaiming $535 that you feel you should have charged them and didn't charge them. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Go ahead. What's going on?
Well, as you already know, our vehicle broke down a couple of blocks from his repair shop. Rather than immediately have it towed, we noticed the repair shop there. We walked. We said,
how did you notice the repair? It was a couple blocks away, or?
Yeah, it's in our neighborhood.
Oh, okay. You knew that it was there.
Yes.
All right.
So we walked there. We explained to him what had happened, what was going on with it, and we asked him, would you be able to fix it for us? And he said, yeah, sure, no problem. So we pushed it.
Now, what kind of shop do you have?
I have an auto body shop, and I do towing.
You auto body and towing, but this is mechanical.
I do mechanical, but I really do auto body. I do have a mechanic on duty.
Okay, so go ahead.
Probably our first mistake. But he indicated that he did have mechanics that work there, so we pushed the vehicle into his
How many blocks did you push a vehicle?
Only one.
Yeah.
One block? Okay.
It was close, and he's strong, so.
Okay. Did you sit in the car, or did you push also?
No, I pushed also.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm strong too.
Okay.
So he had the vehicle. He said give him a couple of hours. He would try to figure out what was wrong with it. We received a phone call a couple of hours later, and he said that he had it figured out, that it was the mass airflow sensor, and that it was running, but it was running really rough. So we said, can we come pick it up? It is running. He said yes. So we returned to the shop. It was not running. So he said, well, if it's not that, he said that he changed that, and
Who was doing the fixing?
I was.
Okay. So did you get it running?
Yeah, it was running. We got the scanner on to see what was wrong, and it says it was multiple misfire.
Okay.
So we go to the spark plugs, we go to whatever the machine tells us.
Okay, so I don't understand. Did the scanner tell you to go to the spark plugs, or it's not that specific?
That's a specific, it's a basic.
That's a cylinder, so you start with the basics.
Okay, but the scanner doesn't tell you that. It just tells you...
The basics.
Which is what?
You start with, it says the cylinders weren't firing.
Okay.
So we did the easiest thing. We changed the spark plugs.
And that didn't work?
It did not work.
And then?
We changed the crankshaft sensor. That's supposed to...
And that's how much money?
Actually, they went and they picked it up for me because they were telling me they had to go somewhere the next day, so we was trying to get it done.
And so that didn't fix it either? But did it, when you put the new spark plugs, they say they got a call saying it's working.
It was firing, it was running. But
according
to you, when you got there, it wasn't running?
Your Honor, the problem was that you could start it, but if you took your foot off of the accelerator, it immediately stalled. And it was the same way when we got
every
back
blue moon,
there.
you got to take your foot off the accelerator. Yes. As my husband always tells me. So that's not going to work. But you had to know that before you called them in.
Well,
actually.
Yeah? You want to switch with him then?
Called
if you got an answer, switch. And who are you?
I'm John.
And what do you have to do with the company?
I just help out and manage.
Okay.
They called me, and I told them it was ready because I was assuming that it was ready.
Okay. And you were assuming it was ready, why?
Because it was running.
Because I thought it was running. I
Boss
ordered the
has to
parts.
answer because it was running.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then what happens? What's your plan?
Well, Saturday, this is now the next day in the afternoon when he still had not been able to figure out what
I'm sorry,
was.
we went for a part. He told us it's not that the problem. The problem is another thing. Go pick up this part. We went pay for that part. We
That's
bring
a sensor.
That sensor.
Right.
Wasn't the sensor neither.
And that wasn't the sensor either. Now your
Yes.
bill's up to $296.59. So then what do you do?
So the next day, we waited until about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We called. He said, I can't figure it out. He said, I've been on Google trying to find out what the problem is, and I don't know what it is. So
Okay.
at that point, we said, okay, we're going to come pick it up. We're going to call a tow truck and bring it somewhere else.
Okay. So when you go to pick it up, is that when you find out what the bill is?
Yes.
And you say, what, are you joking? You didn't fix it?
Pretty much.
Okay, you cost us a sensor. So of the $296.59, how much of that is labor?
None. Mostly is all parts.
Let me see your bill.
I try to work with him as best as I can. I didn't charge him any labor. He got mad. He called the cops.
He did.
He got called the cops.
Your Honor.
If I could interject just for a moment.
Yeah.
We,
When I asked for the parts, at least show me what you fixed. There was no parts.
It was in the vehicle.
And the old parts.
Where
they
were the old
disappeared.
parts?
We had the old
No, but when you got an angry customer, why don't you just hand him the old parts so he can see
We
that you-
actually requested that after we called the police because we attempted to push our vehicle out of the shop, which we could not do because he blocked us in with another truck.
Yes.
So we couldn't push our vehicle out. That's when we had to call the police. We have a tow truck waiting at this point, and at that point, we requested, because we could not come to an agreement, we requested the original parts back so he could take these parts and return them, use them in the future, return them where he got them, since obviously
he
they weren't.
said?
He said, I'm not doing that, and I don't even have them anymore.
Did you get the car fixed?
Yes, we did.
Yes,
What
Your
was
Honor.
wrong with the car?
This is what was
It
wrong.
was a broken spring valve, which they figured out in approximately 30 minutes.
And charged you $358.
Yes.
So they should end up $600 and something poorer because you don't know what you're doing.
That's not
We're
true,
trying
ma'am.
to do something nice, I guess, when you're a body guy. I mean, that's like, but people will come up to me and ask me a legal question, and it'll be the law in Spain. I don't know. I don't work there. I work here. I mean, we all have our expertise, and perhaps maybe you were biting off a little more than you could chew if you were on the internet trying to figure out what was wrong with it.
Well, I go by my scanner, and these new vehicles, you go by the scanner. So that's what I thought it was, but I didn't have enough time. He got hot-headed. He wanted the car. I let it go.
Okay. Well, you didn't let go. You blocked them from leaving. I mean, you didn't let it go.
No, actually, I
But now
offered-
tell me about your counterclaim. You want to sue them for $535.02 because you not only want to charge them for not fixing the car, but you want to charge them more than what you agreed to charge them?
I charged them wholesale prices. I didn't charge them list price.
Okay. You know what? Court's in recess.
All rise.
Are auto repair shops generally crooked?
Yes.
Why do you say?
Because I was taken by an auto repair shop,
Doesn't mean that all of them are.
but I've seen a few of them that I've had experience.
A lot of people feel that way going inside the courtroom.
I spoke with your mechanic, who's your normal mechanic, who apparently you couldn't push the car to.
No, it was a little far.
Right. I want to hear what you have to say about what he had to say. What he says is that when you would hear the engine running, you could tell that you needed to conduct a compression test. Did you folks conduct a compression test?
No.
And you didn't do it, why?
After we worked on the car for a little while, I was frustrated in the car. Then they called and they came back and they wanted the car. They didn't want to keep it there any longer. So after that point, we didn't.
Do you work full time for him?
Yes.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
the shop they took it to, he worked for that shop. That's his brother. And he'd been working for his brother for over 10 years.
Wait a second. Nelson's your brother?
Yeah.
Actually, Nelson says that's not his brother because we asked.
Nelson's your brother?
He's my half-brother.
Half-brother?
Oh.
Wow. Just gets curiouser and curiouser, doesn't it? Look, these cases are always, first of all, let me do the easy stuff. On your counterclaim where you want to charge triple what you charged because you're mad that they sued you, no. Okay, that's not how life works. And then the harder part is, what do I do with this fact? As it turns out, you have new spark plugs. As it turns out, you have a new sensor. As it turns out, that's not what you needed to get your car running.
Right.
So you'd rather not have new spark plug and new sensor. So what should happen? Should you pay $0 and be able to keep the new stuff because they were wrong? Or should you pay some reduced amount because you have those new parts in your car? What do you think is fair?
You know, with all due respect, he can put new tires. I don't need new tires.
Where are you from that you have such, because I hear you had a really hot temper at that place.
I'm Brazilian.
Brazilian? Okay. So,
And I'm sorry, young.
I just assumed you were Cuban. Go ahead.
He said, I'm trying to Google it. That's why I took the car out of there.
I know. Nelson says that this was foolhardy. That, when you hear the engine run like that and with air gasping, the first thing you should do is a compression test to figure out if it's the valve. That, there shouldn't be all this other stuff. That's Nelson. I'm the judge on the case, and I'm trying to figure out if there's any, I realize that you feel like there's no value to you, but there is a value because now you have these new parts in your car. Just what should that value be is the question. And I'm going to answer that question and do a little what we call rough justice, okay? Taking into account that didn't fix your car, okay? And that you ended up having to pay at the other place to fix your car. So what you were out at this place was the $250 you paid them plus the $46.59 that you paid for the sensor, correct? Okay. So you're out a total with them of $296.59.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna order them to return $200, okay?
Thank you.
That's my judgment, and on your counterclaim, $0. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
Well, the car guys are coming out first. Step on in here. They'll get back $200 of the work you did. What's your reaction to this outcome here? Step up a little bit. Yeah.
I'm glad they got the car fixed and everything worked well and everybody's happy.
You seem like a nice enough guy, and nice guys, you know what happened to nice guys, right? You know what happens.
Sometimes we finish last.
Sometimes, but do you stand by your work in this case?
Absolutely.
How come you weren't able to? You made the other.
We didn't have enough time to fix it because they wanted to take it. We would have got to that.
You would have gotten it. Next, if you had a half an hour more, you would have.
Absolutely.
Gotten it, right? All right. Okay. So head right down this way. His half brother. Was that his half brother or not? I don't know. Here, stand right next to her. Okay. You satisfied? You got back something.
We're happy.
Yeah. It's a good ruling by the judge. Fair.
We're happy. Yes,
Absolutely.
So what happened when you got mad?
I went to home and I Googled it myself. Yeah.
Is that the name of their shop, the Google Repair Shop? No.
Probably
it should be. It definitely should be.
Did you? You're a strong guy. Did you? And he's a big guy. That could have gotten a little tough.
I got her by my side, so.
Okay. All right. So the car running okay now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, Harvey.
A lot of states have licensing agencies for these shops. If you have a beef, call them. You can avoid court.
Well, the holidays have come and gone once again, but if you've forgotten to get that special someone in your life a gift, well, Mint Mobile is extending their holiday offer of half off unlimited wireless. So here's the idea. You get it now, you call it an early present for next year. What do you have to lose? Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Limited time 50% off regular price for new customers. Upfront payment required. $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds may slow after 50 gigabytes per month when network is busy. See terms.